I gotta ask it. Any predictions for how October's gonna look?
I think
Just
Nate
gut,
has a
like just
crystal
like
ball.
just
I've got
yeah,
like
Nate.
a magic 8 ball from the mall, and it's
And I got one of those like little like things that you make that fold, like a yes or no thing.
I've been getting this question a lot, and I realize
Because we know you have the good crystal ball.
I realize CMS put out that memo, but wasn't it United that released updated guidance about 78%?
I did not say that. I didn't.
We didn't have to say
memo.
it was in the news. So I have been thinking about that's been haunting me as I stay awake, looking at the cut points of.
We have issues.
We do have issues. Healthcare's had a rough year for many reasons. United has been in the news a lot, and there was a lot of chatter both in the markets and then also just in the star ratings about what will this publicity, the folks on the internet bringing up United's name when it comes to prior authorization and things of that nature, what will that do to the member experience? And because they're such a big player with so many contracts, what does that do to the entire distribution of industry performance? So we were all thinking, that's a thing we were thinking about, all these hundreds of thousands of members that may now be learning that there's market exits and things of that nature. We've been going through this for a couple of years now and thinking through how that might be impacting the member experience. Would invite everybody to go look at what happened in the CAPS results.
There goes my plans. I was just going to watch football.
Our dear clustering methodology, if you go and you subtract, 25 from 26, you're going to get a lot of cells that say 0. And we know that CAPS doesn't move around that much. There's a few of them that moved around a point, but a lot of them didn't move around at all. And so when I'm thinking through what 26 could look like from an industry distribution standpoint, I don't necessarily think that we're going to have a bunch of enormous air shots this season. That's my hot take. I'm not seeing it. I'm not saying nobody's going to move around in surprising ways. I'm talking industry as a whole. What I'm seeing in these cut points is a trudging along of the patterns that we've seen. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Any predictions, Reva? With the magic 8 ball?
Maybe not predictions. I have lots of things that I remember when I first moved away from the health plan to the solution provider side, and I was like, I felt crippled without having access to all of that data. I'm so used, what do I do now? This is a time of year where I start having or formulating, Jen, we've talked about some of them, a lot of questions ooh, I can't wait until this comes out because I want to compare this with that and see what does it say? Did it improve? Can we make any, it's probably hard to be causation, but correlations between certain things. I'm not going to say any of them here because I think we can use that for a later date, but I got some ideas. Ooh. But I think that it's interesting.
Part 2.
When we look at, I don't want to keep going pre-pandemic, but back in my early stars days, 10 plans got 5-star, and then it jumped up to 70 something. That was what was somebody called it the 1 year free subscription to the ratings. That was it. It's done, right? That. So we're back to more of a normal space, but I think that we're seeing a bigger push because there are probably going to be fewer 4-star plans this year, or at least a similar amount. I don't think that we'll see a big jump there, but I wonder if there's just a lot of concentration in this middle performance space. Those guys are going to eventually, not that they necessarily fight amongst each other, but if you think of them in cut points and numbers and measurements on that matrix, they're going to start, someone's going to have to break out. There's going to have to be some other shifts. When we look at clustering methodology, are those clusters closer to the middle?
Yep.
I don't think that the outbounds are really outliers, but I think that's what'll be interesting to look at and see. As we look at overall summary scores getting squished to the middle, what does that mean at the actual measure level as well?